My name is Gary Piani. I work for Novartis Pharmaceuticals, and I'm oncology sales representative. I cover the state of Kansas, and I work primarily in metastatic breast cancer. I got injured driving back from Wichita, Kansas to Kansas City. It was raining in Wichita. It was sleeting in Kansas City. I got about 20 to 25 miles outside of Kansas City to the Gardner exit, went under the underpass. It had iced up underneath there. Once I went under there, I went into a slide. My car spun and hit a concrete embankment on the driver's side and broke my ribs and had a pneumothorax and was pretty unpleasant. I got picked up by the ambulance and was taken to the hospital quickly. They met me and did the scan on me and everything to see what my injuries were. I could not move at all. I mean, that was terrible. I couldn't turn, twist, bend, breathe hardly. I mean, everything was just extremely painful. When I first met my doctor, he really wanted me to have rib plating done. He kept insisting that that would really help me and that really would be the best course of action for me. I was a little reluctant because I wasn't real quick to want to have surgery right away. And my son-in-law is an ER doctor, and he has a brother who is an orthopedic surgeon in Chicago. So he got him on the phone. We talked. They said, no. Standard of care is just to let the ribs heal on their own. So I talked with my doctor and said, I'd really prefer let's just wait and see how things go, and go from there. I think I can't remember for sure, but I think I was in the hospital about 9 or 10 days, maybe. When I left the hospital, I think I went to rehab. They tried to help me deal with just maintenance things like dressing and trying to just care for myself, but it was pretty pointless because the position I was in, I really couldn't get up and go anywhere anyway. So it was sort of, it wasn't like I was going to get dressed and ready to go to work or something. I wasn't leaving the house. And I had a lot of other things going on that was just really bad. I mean, I had a lot of clicking and grinding and popping, and when I would sit, it was so distracting. If I'd be sitting down and talking to someone, and I'd hear my breathing, I would get this click, click, click every time I breathed, and I found that to be extremely distracting. And then went to bed at night. At that point, I was able to lay down in my bed finally for months. 7, 8 weeks, I was living and sleeping in a lazy boy recliner. But I finally got to where I could lay flat in the bed. But even then, if I rolled over, it hears pop, 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 pop. And it sounds like nothing because I thought maybe I was just the one hearing it. But at night, when it was really quiet, my wife could hear it. I couldn't work. I couldn't drive. I couldn't sit still very long. I'd get up in the middle of dinner and leave because I couldn't sit there because of all this stuff going on inside of me as I moved and turned and twisted. And I just said, I got to get home. And I didn't want to be out and about because it's just really uncomfortable and distracting and just a lot of anxiety going on inside. So my doctor kept insisting, I think I can help you. You really should let me can help you. I know I can. And I finally just started listening and went back and saw him, and we scheduled the surgery. I was on pain medicine virtually up to the time I had surgery, which was it was 12 weeks. And I wasn't on as much as when I first started. When I first started, I was on it I would go every 3 or 4 hours, and I kept extending it out, and I got to where it was maybe once every 6 or 7 hours, but it never got to where I couldn't deal with it completely. The comparison between before surgery and after, there was no comparison. After the surgery, except for the initial surgery, pains that went on with that, which was a few weeks, everything just got better right away. Any of the clicking, the grinding, the popping noises, didn't have any pain or discomfort, had virtually almost complete mobility. I was able to turn and twist and bend and stoop. And so within a few weeks after I came back to work, I was back driving 5, 6, 7 hours a week, a day even, and didn't bother me a bit. That was a big thing, because then that's really what my job entailed, was a lot of driving. My wife actually thought there was a point in time when I was just going to be disabled. And I was beginning to think, I was kind of in a dark place too. I was thinking that that may be the case. And she wasn't happy about it. I was certainly not happy about it. And she had to live with me. And that's not, I'm sure that wasn't fun, being around that all day long. And so when we took the surgery and noted the really, really quick improvements, I mean, it just lifted everyone's spirits. I mean, it just made everything so much better. I was a little concerned that after being 12 weeks out, whether the plating was going to work for it with me or not. But fortunately for me, my doctor was able to still do the surgery and, get me back to high functioning. So somebody who's wondering whether to do it or not, I'd say I can understand your reservations because I had them myself. But from my personal experience, I wouldn't hesitate a minute to do it. After the surgery, I had no need for rehab. I had no need for anything. It was really bizarre how things changed so quickly, but it was just really that quick. So it was all good. The only thing I would mention that wasn't talked about here is that when you have plating done, it's not 100% perfect. There's no question about it. You do feel it at times, but it's not painful, and it's not distracting, and it's not self-limiting in what you can do. I notice it's still getting better as I go, and things like when I'm sleeping, my left side is where I had my broken ribs. If I lay on my left side, it doesn't hurt, but I can kind of sort of feel that there's something that had taken place there. But it's no big deal, and it doesn't keep me up at night or anything like that, but I just know it. And occasionally, when I move my left arm in certain positions, I'll feel it or something a little bit, but it doesn't hurt. It just, you kind of feel. So it's not perfect, but it's darn close. And I may 6 months from now, 3 months from that, may not have that going on at all. And I have a feeling I probably won't, because I notice it occurring less and less and less frequent, even over the last several weeks. And I didn't have any of that grinding and popping and clicking and just all that other stuff going on. It just all stopped completely right after surgery. So I came here today because I was really happy with how my results were. I was very pleased with my doctor and what he was able to do for me. And he made mention that they were doing some filming for the community to help people and let them be more educated on this type of procedure. And I wanted to step up and share my experience because it saved my life and it gave my life back to me, in my opinion. So I felt obligated, and obligated is not the right word. I wanted to help any way I could for somebody else because it's the right thing to do.